Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who Invited Her. We are San Diego's LGBTQ pop culture podcast. I'm your host, Tony, and I'm here with my co-host. Say hi.
Hi, it's Eric.
It's Eric. Daddy Bear Eric.
Yeah.
Bash is not here this week. What is he doing? I forget.
He's asleep in a gutter.
Probably, knowing now. But we have a very special guest. I'm super excited. Finally, she's back on the show. She has not been on since I think it was our very beginning of our COVID season, and she was one of the very first guests we had on Zero. Yeah, Courtney Johnson, aka Strawberry. Do you still use Corncakes?
Yeah.
Okay, Strawberry Corncakes is here.
Strawberry Corncake works. Courtney Johnson cashes a check.
There you go. And we talked about you last week about Courtney's Kitchen, all of the events you have, your new brunch at the rail, all of it.
Yeah. I mean, she works. She
works. So we're going to get into all of that and some other fun stuff. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode. But first, Courtney, catch us up. What have you been doing?
Can I curse
late.
On here?
Yeah, of course you can.
Absolutely.
I've just been sucking dick. A lot of dick.
I know. I wish.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. There's always a little truth to a joke.
Well, no, because she has a boyfriend now.
I know.
Right.
So I can't be sucking all the dicks. Just here.
Just
how is
dick.
that? Because
I literally he's so amazing. So amazing. I've never had I never had a boyfriend as a trans woman prior to transitioning. I had 2 boyfriends, and those lasted just a couple months, which I'm still friends with them and everything.
Yeah.
But this is I feel like I'm my truest self with him, and he I don't want to say loves me, but he likes me for being my truest self, and
which is hard to find.
Yeah.
Even in friendships sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, we got to talk about your look today.
Yeah.
You look amazing.
This is just a little dress from Fashion Nova.
She's all in red.
Yeah.
I mean,
strawberry. You got strawberry corncakes.
Yes, it did.
She got to bring the red.
It's
Although
very-
my favorite color
It's
is
very Mariah-esque.
royal blue.
Is it really?
Yes, and I love Mariah.
Yeah, it's
Very-
it feels very Mariah all I want for Christmas kind of
It
thing.
does.
All I want for Christmas
It's perfect
is
for the season.
moolah.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Yes.
Oh my God. But okay, since we're talking about it, I'm curious because before your transition, you dated, and then now transitioning. How has it been different? How is this? Yeah, go about it. Explain, because I know people are gonna have questions.
So prior to transitioning, it was first it was having to learn how to love myself as a gay black male, which to me is the most hated man in America, person in America, in the world, honestly.
Yeah.
Gay and black, you get killed for both.
Yeah.
So
Especially what's been happening in the news.
Oh
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, not even lately, but just my whole life,
Well, it's always been like that.
Yeah.
It's just
And
recently
now we have
people...
the social media to
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had 2 boyfriends, and those were the only 2 boys that I ever really dated.
Yeah.
Everything else was a hookup, and I had no success on Grindr, Scruff, Growler. I had to almost prostitute myself out on Craigslist.
I know.
Craigslist, the hardcore deep DL
deep
motherfuckers.
Deep.
Yeah. And then when that got shut down, I had to go to Double List. And a lot of people
know
don't
what
even know what
Double
Double
List
List is.
is.
Exactly.
Double List?
Exactly.
Wait. Yeah, explain Double List. I've never heard of this.
Double List is basically the hookup section of Craigslist, but that's it.
Oh,
And it's still up today.
Okay.
So if I wanted to find some dick tonight, I could just go
Yeah.
on Double List, boop, 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 and then everything's good.
So it's a hidden section of Craigslist, or
No. That part, the hookup part of Craigslist that is no longer there.
Right.
Somebody created
gotcha.
a whole new website.
separate thing.
Yeah.
That took over for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
so I resulted to that for my hookups. And then when I started transitioning, when I started doing drag, let me say this. When I started doing drag, I would go on Grindr as Strawberry, and that was the name, Strawberry. I've always been my most authentic self in everything that I've done. So I'm okay, I'm on Grindr. My face is my face. I'm Strawberry Corncakes. Strawberry's the name. And then that's when it just like went crazy.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, like all these tea chasers. I won't say the word. The tea chasers were like hard. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then I got over it. I
Yeah.
went like 4 months with like out having sex. Like
yeah.
I was just like not like I was done.
Was
Yeah.
that fun until it wasn't kind of thing?
I guess yes, because I was looking for like more.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, my hole can only be used so much. My throat needs to rest. So, if you're watching this and you know me, you know about the Courtney Chronicles. So this is
And when does that series come out? When does that series come out?
I do read those on your Instagram.
My mom used to read them on my
Yeah.
Facebook, and I have
Oh,
to
shut
block
up, for
her.
real?
She's like, baby, make sure you use protection. Baby, be safe. I'm like,
Yeah.
mother.
I
bye.
read if you're not signed up to read them, go out there and sign up because they are so
Yeah.
great to like. I love it, and I'm like,
Well, it's hard now because I have a boyfriend.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Wow.
I still do have like my Twitter and like OnlyFans content. So, you know.
What can people find on your OnlyFans? Risque?
And
And how do people find it? Give it a plug.
Well, hold on. First, let's go
Yeah,
back.
let's go back.
We're getting everything
I
in the
know,
first 5 minutes. So then, I didn't hook up for about like 6 months. You know, I was trying to like really like find myself, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
I was trying to find myself, and like, what the fuck? Because I felt weird. I went to like loving myself as a boy to not loving myself. And I would come home from drag and from a gig, and I would like legit cry because I didn't want to take off my makeup. I was like, I love the person that I saw in the mirror, and whenever I would like wipe off my makeup, I would like cry because I'm like, this is not who I am. Like, this is not what I want.
Imagine that.
So there was like a couple things I was like, I do love my feminine self, and I would say, okay, I'm gonna do like a feminization. That's what I even told all my friends, like my best friends. I'm like, so I'm gonna do like a feminization. I'm gonna get on hormones, but I'm not trans. I'm just like feminine. And like 6 months, like 3 months, 6 months into it, I was like, okay, I'm trans. Like I'm a trans woman. Like that, it is what it is. That's what I want for my life.
Yeah.
And like some of the things that they are like, are you sure like your sex drive is gonna be lowered? I'm like, bitch, I was sucking dick 4 times a day. My sex drive needs to be lowered. I'm like,
You're for like the protection of
I know the side
humanity,
effect, right?
Like, what am I gonna do with all this free time?
Right?
She writes a
literally.
novel.
Because I
The War
started
and Peace
transitioning
too.
right before quarantine.
Oh,
So I did have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What was the deciding factor for you to make the decision to go, I'm a trans woman? Instead of being on the fence, like you were saying, what was the catalyst for you to make that decision?
I legit can't even tell you.
Really?
It was like from me just wanting to be like feminine,
Yeah.
like a feminine boy. I don't know. Gradually, it just just became like I'm trans. I legit can't even tell you like when I said to myself like I'm a trans woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for like a whole year, I think it was like my 1 year mark. I was just like, oh, 1 year on HRT. And I'm like, people are like, oh my God, like, we love you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, you know what? Let me just, like, I knew that day, I was like, I'm going to live for myself, like everybody else. Like, I'm just going to be me, And a part of me was like, do I even want to consider myself a trans woman? Because there are trans women out there that just want to be considered a woman. Like, don't put the trans in front of it.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they want to live in society as a woman. I don't want to say real,
Right.
but they don't want that question to even come up.
Yeah.
They don't want anybody to even like quote unquote clock them or anything like that. They just want to be women, which is understandable. And I was trying to like, okay, like we're in quarantine, we're gonna be here for a while. Do I want to just like, hide under a fucking rock and like transition and come back and just be like, but obviously that wasn't gonna happen because shit like that doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then plus like, I didn't sign up to be anybody's role model.
Yeah.
That is not why I started drag. That is not why I became, quote unquote, a public figure. Because some people will hate and say that I'm not.
I think of you as a staple in the community.
I do
Thank
too.
you.
I really do.
Thank you. But yeah, so I was just like, there's no way that I could just like slide under the radar. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna like speak for myself as a Black trans woman.
Yeah.
And if that means that I have to be the voice for other people that don't necessarily have the platform or the actual voice too, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that because there is a lot of people out there that I think even whether they're coming out as trans, gay, lesbian, bi, whatever, there's always that gray, like, should I not? And then they're going to hear or see somebody that is exactly like them.
Yeah.
And then it's going to click that they did it. They're fine.
Yeah.
Now I can do it.
Yeah.
And just like the fact that you're coming on the show and sharing your story, somebody's going to hear it. And it might be the catalyst to make them feel comfortable enough with themselves to be their authentic self.
And it's like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When like one of the struggles that I had was like drag queen trans woman.
I was going to ask you, how do you balance
what
that?
The fuck? And it was hard because it's like looking back. It was hard. My face was hard. It was a rock. No, so like my face was like my makeup was not cute, and I was just like, now thinking back, like almost 3 years ago, because I've been transitioning like medically for 2 years, but it's 3 years that I like told myself that I wanted to start getting on hormones, but insurance, all that shit happened, so it took like a year. Anyways, so I was just like, oh, my makeup was not cute. Why was I was probably crying. I was probably crying, wiping it off because it was so ugly. No, but
were you really?
No.
I was gonna say no.
I thought I was the baddest. No, not the bad. I thought I was looking good.
Yeah.
And I'd be like mad at y'all for letting me walk around looking like that.
You're like, it's your guys' fault.
Right? Yeah. It is. No, but honestly, it's people like Coco Chanel, Fantasia Lamour.
Oh, Fantasia's gorgeous.
But, mostly Coco, because Coco is like, she's like my auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like seeing her, the way that she moves, like she's a professional. She's an activist. She's a full-on showgirl.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I could do it. I could do this.
Yeah. She's another one who's been a staple in the community for a very, very long time. And if you haven't seen her perform live, you're missing out because it's incredible. Like
and I just awarded her I've been doing things. So this is the second year that me and Amber St. James have done Blackjack Magic.
Yeah, because when you guys first started during COVID, I think you had it.
So we did a Black Girl Magic.
Yeah.
And then Kixie and Divas had hit us up wanting us to use their platform to like showcase Black voices. So we did Blackjack Magic virtually. And so this is the second year that we did it. And so I wanted to award Coco with an award. So I awarded her with the trans woman, person of color, Black, some shit. These awards. It was the
these awards.
Trans Woman of Color Trailblazer Award.
Oh, nice. Okay. You're like,
I'm like
that.
American Music Grammy
Award, People's
Emmy,
Choice,
People's Choice, Teen Choice. No, but yeah, so I awarded her with that, and I love Coco. I put her on my cast over at the new brunch that I started at the Rail.
Yeah.
Which apparently is like, I've been following it. It's like becoming like the brunch to do.
Yeah, where you been?
I know. We need to go. I haven't had a time to go, to be honest.
This Sunday, there's tables available.
Okay.
Right. San
Let's
Diego
go.
Ultimate Brunch.com.
Yeah, because when did you start it at the Rail? Let's get in. I want to get into, let's take a break from the sad story.
The sad trans woman.
Because I have so many questions with that
Yeah.
still. Like, I want to know, like, how it is doing drag now and how your drag has evolved and all that.
It hasn't evolved.
Yes, it has. Because I remember when I first saw you, when you were working at Starbucks.
What are you trying to say?
I
was
don't
busted?
know.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
say.
Busted.
Is it coming for you? I don't know.
He's coming for me.
So wait, so the brunch. How did the brunch start at the rail? Because the rail used to be Brass Rail, same location, which is now the oldest gay bar in San Diego.
Yes.
It's been there so long, and I love the space. It's a really good space, but they've never had a brunch there, or even a drag brunch that I am aware of in a long time.
So for me, first of all, shout out to the rail. That's where I first started.
Yeah.
Back in it was December 4th, 2015.
Mm.
A baby wild strawberry corncakes. No, that's where I first started drag.
Yeah.
And so I am part of Kixie's bubbles for brunch over at Moe's on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And I would have people like ask me like, hey, is there like a Sunday brunch? Is there a Sunday brunch? Is there a Sunday brunch? I'm like, there is a Sunday brunch, but it's only at Lips and it's a gospel brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see atheists going to a gospel brunch. I'm just kidding.
Or Jehovah Witness, Jehovah Witness, anything. This is what I say about being part of a cult for so long, and you come out of it. You don't want anything that has gospel in it, anything even religiously joking, you stay away from.
Yeah.
Because it's like
true.
a trigger.
Yeah, true.
Seriously, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, I need to start a brunch. I'm like, where am I going to start a brunch?
Yeah.
And honestly, since the pandemic happened, or quarantine, because the pandemic is still happening, since quarantine like happened, like I was just like, pause. Because you guys know my life is fucking crazy.
It is.
When I had COVID, when I was in the hospital with COVID back in December,
Yeah.
January, I told myself that if I get out, because the doctor said that if I didn't call the ambulance, I would have 2 days later probably would have died in my sleep.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I remember reading that too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when I got out of the hospital, I told myself, I'm going to do whatever I put my mind to. If it comes into my mind, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
So one of the things, fast forward, obviously. So when people were asking me about the, like, oh, is there a brunch? I'm like, you know what? Let me start a brunch.
Yeah.
And I was kind of discouraged because I was just like, where can I do it? Like, I can't do a Sunday brunch at Moe's when Kixie has her brunch on Saturdays. I can't do a brunch on Sundays at Gossip Girl because they already, they have one there. They have one, that one. Baja Betty's, no. Like, AWOL, no. Like, there's nowhere.
Yeah.
And Pepperoni Playboy, a.k.a. Mark Desso, was like, you should do the rail. I'm like, the rail hasn't used their kitchen, like,
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? No, like, fuck it. Like, if I'm gonna put my mind to it, I'm gonna put my mind to it.
And
So I hit up the rail, I hit up Ziggy, and we had a meeting. And
Ziggy from Boylesque?
Boylesque, yeah.
Oh, okay. We've seen him perform so many times. He's really good.
Yeah.
Super good. Yeah. So I hit him up. We met, and I told him like all of my ideas, and he was just like, "Damn, girl, like, what do you? So you just need the space?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I created a menu. I hired some cooks.
Really?
Wait a minute. Wait, you created the menu. Well,
Yes.
you're another thing that Courtney does, she's an amazing cook, which we will get into Courtney's Kitchen at some point on this.
We'll get into that. One of my loyal customers right here.
Yes. It's amazing. Your food's amazing. So you came up with the menu, hired the actual cooks. I didn't even know the Rail had a kitchen.
Yeah, so the Rail had I don't know if they had it before the remodel, but they were selling food like when like the first ban was lifted, like they were like selling, they had hot dogs and like certain other things. But I was like, you know what, let's like try to utilize this kitchen as much as possible.
Exactly.
So I created a menu. We have a chicken and waffles. We have like a simple breakfast sandwich. We have let's say a breakfast plate.
Yeah.
And then I did notice that a lot of these brunch places don't have any vegan or vegetarian options.
They don't.
So I created avocado toast with sun-dried tomatoes. And it's going to get elevated. I kind of wanted to put some pesto on there.
Why
we'll
not?
see. And then one of
something.
my Courtney's Kitchen items, the cauliflower ceviche, that was a hit. That's also on the menu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So there's some...
So it's
options
kind of
there.
like you're kind of doing your food at brunch. And having
Yes, but I wouldn't sell those items if it wasn't at a brunch.
I got,
You know,
I totally get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So when people go, what is the brunch called? What did you name it?
I called it the Ultimate Drag Brunch, and there's a little bit of controversy behind it.
Ooh,
Why? I love
Um,
controversy.
Yes.
Because,
love
and
it.
I did not know this after naming this, but
Yeah.
Lips, their slogan is the ultimate drag dining or something
experience, dining experience
Okay,
is what
something
they
like
did.
that. And I didn't know. I literally,
Oops.
I looked up, you know, San Diego Ultimate Drag Brunch, like for like, you know, for like, you know, like copyright purposes.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't see nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna name it. And then I started to see. A couple of people brought it up.
Oh.
And they were like, oh,
yeah.
like, you know, that, you know, they don't like, you know, other people using ultimate. I'm like, why?
They don't own it. They don't
And
own that
then-
word.
And then I after, you know, the website was everything with logo, everything was created.
Yeah.
I saw that on their social media. It's like I don't follow Lips the Instagram, but I went on the Instagram to see, and it says, you know, Lips Ultimate Dining Service. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is
you
what it
know,
is.
Yeah.
it's a word, but so that came from. I want it to be. I mean, I want it to be ultimate. I just want it to
Right?
be big. Like,
Why
you know,
not?
the rail space is so
So big.
large.
It
The
is.
open windows. The girls
Yeah.
that I book, it's only showgirls, only dancers, only stunt queens. Like,
Wait, you had Miriam in there. Where does she fall in?
she's a stunt queen.
Is she though?
Yes, everything she does.
Throwing
is a
that body
stunt.
around
I
is a
mean,
stunt. I'm
It's
kidding.
a stunt
Miriam.
collecting all that money from
Uh-huh.
people.
Exactly. I'm like, damn, girl, you stunting. I did not know that you. Well, that's an illusion. Anyways,
She said it. She said it this time. I didn't.
I said it and what? I mean, I just wanted to create a big experience. You know, it's open, kind of pretty much like open door, open window, open space
Yeah.
because they have all those big
They
windows.
do.
Yeah.
And I have like my go-go boys, my brunch boys that walk around in speedos.
You need to promote that more because I did not
What do you
realize
mean?
that till later.
Go to the Instagram. You'll
Okay.
see like there's like 4 posts about the boys.
Maybe
and I
on
literally-
yours,
I
you
had
need to
to-
promote it more.
True, but that's why I have. That's why there's its own Instagram.
Okay, so you
I
have the
am.
brunch. Well, how do people get tickets? What time is it at? Is it every Sunday or do you
It's
do it?
every other Sunday.
Okay.
So this next one is going to be on the 19th, this Sunday.
Mhm.
I don't know when this is going to be aired, but
This will be it'll be after that. It
okay.
comes out yeah.
So the next one will be January 2nd.
January 2nd, everybody get your
Yeah.
tickets. And how do they get tickets?
Which is perfect. Everyone will be like hungover and just want to go to brunch
Yeah.
and not
Right.
deal with life.
Exactly. Hopefully.
I
Oh,
know.
I will.
Which those 4 days are going to be crazy for me. We'll talk about that later. So you can go to San Diego UltimateDragBrunch.com, or I believe it's SDUltimateDragBrunch.com,
Yeah.
and look it up. But, you know, go to Instagram, follow San Diego UltimateDragBrunch.com,
Yeah.
and all the updates, all the everything will be there.
And we'll also
on
have a link on
Facebook.
our website too. If you go to whoinvitedher.net, we'll have a link on there
Oh,
for to the
thank
brunch. So you can
you.
get tickets. If you hit that, it'll take you
Yes.
to the website.
Reparation.
And the other thing you do that is the ball. You have like
Yes.
a traditional Paris is Burning ball here in San Diego in the
Thank
community.
you.
And when is that going to happen again? And how did you
Never.
even never? Don't say that. When are you gonna? How did you get that even started?
So-
And do you have a permanent home for it, or does it go to different venues here in San Diego?
So when I first started in the drag community here, I first started, and we're gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
I first started with like I don't want a chip on my shoulder. How do you? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
It
a
was
chip
hard.
on
It
your
was
shoulder.
hard
Chip on
coming
your
into the
shoulder.
scene because of who my drag mother was, Adonis Illusion, and
Adonis
if
is another
anybody
creep.
was here in the
Yeah.
community about 5, 6, you know, even 4 years ago, will know that there was like some bullshit happening in the community where you know, situations happened,
Mhm.
but I had to kind of like pull myself, you know,
Away?
not away, but like out, because I was like, I call out what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and people didn't like that, and so I was getting backlash for protecting my mother and protecting just like what is right and what is,
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
So
As
there was that
families should.
struggle. Exactly. There was that struggle with like that and like getting booked, and I
Okay.
was like a baby queen. I was a busted baby queen. And I didn't really see like me in the community. I saw black queens or black performers, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, but
Yeah.
there was no like I grew up watching Paris is Burning on repeat like
yes.
multiple times a year.
Yes.
And although I had never been to a ball,
yeah.
I still have never been to a ball. I've only been to my balls, I had went to Moe's
Mhm.
and I was just like, hi, my name is Strawberry Corncakes. And this one Michael was the manager. So I
Yeah.
believe this was before Brian was the manager.
That's a
And
long
Michael,
time ago.
right? Literally.
For all you people,
So
in San
Michael
Diego
said
history.
yes. I know. Michael said yes, and he was like, "But I'm quitting in 2 weeks. I'm gonna hand you over to Brian."
Yeah.
Brian, loved my energy, and we continued. And it was me, Adonis, and Glitz Glam hosted the first corn ball, and that
love
was
the
about 5 years
name.
ago, almost 6. I don't know these times, and I need to look up the
Yeah.
date. But yeah, so that was about like 5 years ago, and then we had the Cornball 2, the Cornball 4, and then Rob Rodriguez from Divas
Mhm.
hit me up and he was like, "Hey, I want to do a ball with you." Then by this time, Pose was out, so I think like
Yeah.
4 balls in, Pose came out. So probably like 2 years into me doing balls, Pose came out, and then so. He was like, we should do like a ball like Pose. But I'm like, sure. I mean, I already do this, so let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 2 house balls. They were called house, at the rail,
Yeah.
and those were a hit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then went back to Moe's. We did a Vogue to Vote ball. We did an ugly Christmas sweater ball. Me and
Yeah.
Glitz.
I know I
Right.
keep forgetting that. Sorry, everybody.
No, I don't. That always happens to me. And then yeah. So when quarantine was lifted, I was like, it's time for
Let's
a ball.
get it. Let's
Yeah.
get it back.
So that's when I had the comeback ball.
yeah.
I'm like, bitch, we about to make a comeback. I'm like, Adonis, you ready? Let's go. Boom, boom, boom.
Was that the
boom,
one at
boom.
the Marrow?
That was the one at the Marrow. That's when I started doing
Right.
at the Marrow.
Was Jasmine Glam was in that one, wasn't she? Or was it the one
I
after
believe she walked.
that? She did for Face.
No,
I
that
think-
was the Cornball 5.
Okay, that's the one I
that was
remember.
the Cornball 5. But
yeah.
Jasmine Glam did walk, I believe, both balls. The comeback
Oh,
ball
nice.
and then was the throwback ball.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then the Cornball 5 at Moe's, and then just right now the Blizzard ball. And then I'm gonna go back to the Marrow because the Marrow is just a
The
little
space.
bit more the space and
Yeah.
the grunge of it. It
That-
really gives you that like old
Yeah.
school
Yes.
feel to it.
yes,
Um,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Oh, I love
but
that.
that's not gonna be until
After
August.
the holidays. August? That's how long
August.
we have to wait?
yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
You're gonna have to wait.
Oof.
I
All right,
know.
We'll do
The
that.
Cornball 7.
You're gonna have another one soon.
Wait, no,
right?
Cornball 6.
6.
6, yeah.
I love that. I mean, you're so busy. You're always
I
doing
know.
so. If you're not producing and doing your own show, you're
Mhm.
like in almost everybody else's show. It
I mean,
sounds
the
right.
girls gotta, I mean, even last night,
And then tonight, you're doing
Tonight.
double D's in the
Yeah.
gossip that Miriam hosts.
yeah, and then I'll be judging also
The
Fish
fishbowl.
Bowl. But
Yeah.
yeah, so last night I was supposed to have an Impulse meeting because I'm the director of events for Impulse.
Yeah, that's right.
So another thing that I do.
He's busy.
And so I'm like, I had just got done hosting a virtual drag queen bingo,
Mhm.
and I get a call, and it's Adam McGee, Chad Michael's husband.
Yeah.
Hey, is Courtney? I'm like, yeah. He goes, hey, so unfortunately, one of the performers had to, call out tonight. Can you come in and fill in? I'm like,
Hell yeah.
did I just get called in
For
to
Dream
fill
Girls?
in for Dream Girls?
Yeah.
Yes, bitch. I was like, at first I said no because I had the meeting. I had the Impulse
Yeah.
meeting. And
Yeah.
we meet right after an event to recap. So I'm like, if we're gonna recap the Blizzard Ball, like I need to be there. But I'm like, you know what? No, it is not every day that they call you to fill in at Dream Girls.
Yeah, and for
Yeah.
people who don't know, especially here in Southern California, Dreamgirls is like
It's the
the
Yeah.
It's
drag
the
shitty
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has been going on
What is going on with your mic now?
Now
dude?
it's my mic.
I know.
I don't know.
Shit. It's all gonna fall apart.
I mean, it happens.
Keep talking, Eric.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
All right, we're gonna.
It doesn't like my laugh.
It sounds
know.
good.
Yeah, there you go.
And Dreamgirls has been around for like 20 years now.
Yeah.
25
I think
years.
it's been. I actually think Dreamgirls has been around for almost 40 years.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I believe 20 years, like with Chad.
Okay.
Because-
For people who don't know, Chad hosts the one here in San Diego. Because
Yeah.
Dreamgirls, they have one in West Hollywood, right? Is the main one?
No,
that's what it was.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
Dreamgirls. I think this is the.
This is the-
main. I want to
okay.
say, don't quote me, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't come for me.
Yeah.
But I was talking with Adam backstage yesterday,
Yeah.
and we were talking about the closing song.
Yeah, that they've been doing forever.
And he was like, I've been listening to this song for 20 years.
oh, God.
And I'm
I
like,
can't
change
imagine.
it. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't.
No.
So I know it's been around for a good while since Adam has been a part of
Yeah.
it.
Well, the other
But-
thing with the closing song, it's so funny. The audience knows the
Oh,
words,
yeah.
knows the dance moves,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is awesome, Courtney.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
You are a
you.
busy lady.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, it's crazy because, you know, my friend Andre, who we've been like best friends forever. He's like family. He's like, you know, a brother. Back in the day when I was just like a little baby kid, like 19, 20, 21, even 22, like I was always doing something.
Yeah.
And nothing ever like stuck. You know, and he'll be like, oh my God, what are you doing now? Are you going to stick with that? Or, oh, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? Like I was always trying to find something to do, something to like, you know, be good at. And,
Yeah.
and drag was like that one thing. Drag and photography could also do photography.
That's another thing, and she's amazing at that
Yes.
too. Oh,
Thank
we're gonna
you.
we're gonna get into that and Courtney's Kitchen when we get back. We're gonna take a quick break. I can't talk.
You're gonna
we'll be right
bake?
back.
We're going to.
In the world of male sexual health, getting an erection isn't always the problem, but instead premature ejaculation may be the issue. The great news is, Hims has that covered with either a spray, a pill, or both. Formulated with lidocaine, the spray works by altering the sensitivity to the sprayed area without overly numbing. Unlike other topical products, it's absorbed by the skin without transferring to your partner. Spray to the most sensitive areas of your penis 5 to 10 minutes before game time. This spray absorbs quickly and stays local to the applied area, rather than numbing the sensation of your entire penis. Studies have shown men can last 64% longer when using the spray. Hims offers men access to high-quality medical products for issues all men face, but rarely take care of, and Hims is a trusted destination for sound medical guidance with both prescription and non-prescription solutions. Sex should be fun for all. Hims helps you enjoy this pleasure longer with a quick and easy spritz. Try Hims today. Go to whoinvitedher.net/HIMS. That's HIMS. Hims is a one-stop shop for sexual wellness, hair loss and skincare for men. They can connect you to FDA-approved treatments backed by science. Prescription products are subject to medical provider approval and require an online consultation with a medical provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate, all from the comfort of your own home. See website for full details and safety information. That's whoinvitedher.net/HIMS.
Hey everybody, we're back from break with pre-filled drinks and ready to go. So we're going to continue this conversation. I have a question about you going back to the beginning of the episode. When you started hormones, is there any advice that you might, from your personal experience, to anybody that's thinking of going on hormones for the first time? That like now that you
Do
did
not
it-
work at Starbucks. Being on hormones and working at Starbucks was like the worst decision. I had to quit
Why?
because
First of all, I want to say that's when I first met you because you were working at the Starbucks here
Yeah.
in Hillcrest, and I would go in the morning. And I have to say, the staff there has always been so sweet.
Yeah.
And I remember
The
you
best.
specifically because no matter who came in, you seemed to remember their name, and you genuinely said, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah.
and asked
Yeah.
about them. Where a lot of places don't do that, and that's why you always stuck out in my head from the
Aw.
beginning. And that's where I first remember seeing you.
Thank you. I mean, when going into work at Starbucks is
Yeah.
like you have to go with the mindset of like, you know, positivity. Because if you go in the mindset, and there's people that did go in with the mindset of like, ugh, my day has been shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? I'd be like, bitch, keep that shit over there. Like, go to the back, go do some inventory, because you are not about to bring all that energy here. But I mean, I loved working, especially at this Starbucks. I worked for Starbucks on and off for 8 years. You know, Target, Starbucks downtown, like, you know, a bunch of shit. So working at Starbucks in Hillcrest with like some people knowing who I was already because of my drag, and then coming in to work in drag because I had a gig after a gig before, you know, and so, oh my God, I love your makeup. So it was just always like positive, like things like happening. But yeah, so, hormones. I mean, everybody's different. There's some people that start with testosterone blockers first.
Oh, okay.
And there's some people that transition without any hormones first. There are a couple of like homegirls that I know that they didn't start using hormones until like 4 years into their transition, and they kind of went like the surgical route, you know.
Okay.
So it's different, literally for everybody. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Do you inject yourself?
I do inject myself. Yeah.
I couldn't do that. I'd be so scared.
I just started.
I'd be like, I hit a bone.
About,
I
like,
can't.
About maybe 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
So I was doing the pill form.
Oh, okay.
But then when I was in the hospital with COVID for like a month, and I have diabetes, so they were poking me like my insulin, and like I was getting poked every 2 seconds. I'm like, bitch, I could do this shit. Give me my estrogen. So
You're
I was like,
a cushion.
Right. So I got used to just like needles. So I was just like, okay, bitch, okay, next week, the week after, like every side, and I would say kill. Yeah.
Oh wow, God.
Yeah. I am.
I don't know if I could do that. Like just needles.
I just started because I do testosterone.
Oh, that's right. You started that.
So I just started injecting myself 2 weeks ago, and I mean, it's easier than going in, but God, I hate it.
Yeah.
I just look at it and I'm like shaking and I'm like, poof. All right, it's in. It's in.
Yeah. I mean, there are moments where I'm like, fuck, do I want to do this today?
There was a joke there, and I was gonna go for it. It was easy bait, but I said, you know what? Maybe not.
I wasn't listening to you, so thank goodness.
I was like, bait.
Oh, okay. So Courtney's Kitchen. Let's talk about Courtney's Kitchen. So you started this during the pandemic, if I remember right.
Yes. Right? So I started it in the pandemic, but I started it before I changed my name to Courtney.
Okay.
I was still going by Cornelius. I didn't really care, you know, about that.
You know, can I be honest? I always thought of you as Strawberry or Courtney.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I couldn't remember the other name. To be honest with you.
I don't either. I don't even know it.
And the thing is, I love that name.
I've always
and
in my
miss
head. It is a gorgeous name, but I've always known you as Strawberry, Corncakes, or Courtney.
Yeah. I know. So
because somebody had brought it up and they called you the other name, and I was like, "Who's that?
Who out here misgendering me?"
And I was this like, shit. What? Who's that? And I was like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you just had her on your podcast. I don't know.
I'm like, that's not who I know.
I don't know who you think you're talking about.
So
no, but,
first of all, I gotta say with Courtney's Kitchen, we went to AWOL a couple weeks ago and we had your mac and cheese. Can I tell you? It was phenomenally good.
Yeah,
it was really good.
I ate all of it.
Thank you.
And I will say this: I saved the rest for later because I knew I was gonna get really stoned. I ate the shit out of it.
And honestly, it tastes like. I mean, obviously, it tastes good fresh, but it's still gonna have like a different like
later
betterness, if that's even a word. Like later,
I was really impressed. It was very good.
Yeah.
So how did you start the Courtney's Kitchen, and when is it coming back? When are you going to start doing it again, and all of that? And you used to do it at AWOL. Do we want to talk about that?
So
what happened to that?
So let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
In the beginning, it was called Corn because my legal name still is Cornelius, and I don't mind saying that. I'm not, you know, it's not that serious for me. My legal name is Cornelius, and so before transitioning, that's what I had to go by. Drag name Strawberry Corncakes, so I called it Quarantine Kitchen.
Yeah,
That's what the original name
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And but you were there like every
I was.
Friday.
I
He
was.
was. Eric
every
was.
single
Yeah.
Friday. You would drive down to Logan.
Yeah.
And you were like, let me get my bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
I did like mole. I did macaroni and fried chicken.
Yep.
But the birria was the thing that like hit. I even tried to do a chorizo lasagna.
Oh
It was really
my
good, but
God.
nobody wanted any. I had like 4 orders. I'm like, okay, I have 2 fucking big ass pans of lasagna. I ended up giving it away to people, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Why don't
This
you
is
sell
amazing.
this?" I was like, "Bitch, I
Bitch,
tried
did.
to." So I was doing that. I was doing
Yeah.
Quarantine's Kitchen when I was living in Logan, but then I midway through the pandemic, I moved out to Hillcrest, and I was doing at this time now Courtney's Kitchen. I had to finally change my name.
Yeah.
Courtney's Kitchen. I was doing out of my little studio, and that studio doesn't have a kitchen, so I
Yeah.
was literally had a crock pot.
You couldn't.
Yeah, I was
tell.
doing
The
it.
food
I was doing it
good.
in 2 crock pots, and so I was doing it there. Then downstairs, the landlord and the owner of the building, Alex, he opened up AWOL.
Yeah.
And AWOL was supposed to have some food, but some things happened. And then I was like, then the Rail hit me up. They were like, hey, do you want to do Courtney's Kitchen at the Rail on Thursdays? I'm like, ooh. But they're like, you know what? No, like, I love Alex. I'm going to,
Yeah.
support Alex. I'm going to,
Yeah.
so, and he was supporting me, because all the money that I've been saving up is like
Mhm.
for my surgeries, my BBL. Like for my surgeries and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I was like, this is perfect. I live right on top.
Yeah.
So I went to go. I spent like probably almost $1,000 on
Mhm.
like equipment,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
big pots, warmers, a bunch of shit. Like big quantity of chiles.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I was doing Courtney's Kitchen Able for like 3 months, I want to say. But then something happened to where we're not doing it. He just kind of felt that it wasn't a good fit.
Okay. It
Um,
happens.
Yeah. He gave me till the end of the month, but I was just like, no, might as well just end it now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to.
Is there plans to start it back up somewhere else?
Yes. I've had a couple of things like come up. Conversations.
Yeah. It's
Which,
brewing.
well, aside from what we talked about off camera,
I know, and it's so exciting. I wish we could talk about, but we can't. It's top secret. Top secret.
one of the restaurant owners,
Yeah.
one of the owners, they close at a certain time,
Mhm.
Okay.
and so they brought it up that maybe Courtney's Kitchen could do a late night, afternoon
Like
situation.
pop-up
A
late
Yeah.
pop-up.
night.
That
would
would
be
be amazing.
cool.
I have a question regarding that. Is there a certain dish that you're dying to like do and have people try and be like, this is something I've worked on. I can't wait to get this into Courtney's Kitchen and out to people.
I mean, honestly, it was the birria mac and cheese.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
The birria mac and cheese and the birria ramen, because before I would just do birria bowls and birria tacos.
Yeah.
But that was
Yeah.
like time consuming to make the tacos and all this other shit, whatever. And a lot of smoke. Frying the tortilla, making I'm like, oh shit, I burnt this tortilla.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love my mole. But a
I'm
lot of
a
people
huge mole
just
fan.
don't love mole.
I
So,
love it.
yeah.
And if I go to a Mexican restaurant wherever and they have it on the menu, I always order because I
Same.
always want to taste it
Yep.
Yeah.
and be like, is this good?
It's
Is it-
very polarizing. You either
Yeah.
love it or
I
hate
love it. I
Yeah.
can't get enough of it.
Literally,
I
and
love
you know,
mole.
Baja Betty's, they have a decent mole. It's
Yeah.
a good 8 out of 10. And so every time I go to Baja, I'm like, mole, please,
Yeah.
thank you. Like even
'Cause
like
there's some places that do not do good
Yeah.
mole.
But I mix my mole recipe with a little bit from my best friend Ashley. Her mom puts peanut butter in the mole.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh
That
my
sounds
god,
so
it's
good.
almost
Really
like
good.
a Thai chili, like
Even
mole.
with your mac and cheese, it
Mhm.
was like a cross between like mac and cheese, which is
Yeah.
a very American type of, and
Yeah.
then then you had the Mexican
Yeah.
flair to it.
And so that idea
I
came
love
from
that.
like a lot of like Southern mac and cheese with pulled pork.
Yeah.
But
that's kinda
you
where,
grew
like,
up
that-
here.
Yeah, I grew up
San
in Logan
Diego,
Heights.
in Logan
Yeah.
Heights, which is the Latino Mexican community.
Exactly.
So I love that you're combining that.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's what I know, and
Is it
so
you grew up around that? You know how to cook that
Bitch.
way? Okay.
It tastes
Yeah.
like she.
Yeah.
So
does.
one thing with me, and I made a post about it because there was a comment made that was not offensive. Just want to let
Yeah.
you guys know it was not offensive. Someone asked her like, a black person like, sis, when are you gonna, make some food for us? Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I was wondering when that question was gonna happen because
Sure.
you have a black trans woman making Mexican food. So, and I didn't take any offense to it because, bitch, my food looks good. So they want to know, bitch,
Yeah.
we ain't gonna make some soul food because I want some.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. And that's
Yeah.
how, if anybody is watching and know what situation I'm talking about, take it as that. They just want some more of my food.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Logan Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, my best friends were literally like people that just crossed the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was being bullied a lot for like not, having name brand this, odor, like all the
Yeah.
shit. And they're being made fun of for like not knowing English. So we
English,
kind of
yeah.
like clicked,
Yeah.
And then, growing up, being like the flamboyant, like dancer gay boy, I would choreograph all the quinceañeras. And what was on the menu? What was on the menu? Birria or
Yeah.
mole, bitch.
Yeah.
So that's where like my obsession like happened.
Yeah.
And it was one day I was just like, oh my God, I haven't had birria in forever.
Oh,
And
it's
this
so
is in
good.
quarantine. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, it's been a minute. And I was like, where should I? And I found some and I ordered some and it was like, no, this is not it.
Nope,
This is
not,
it.
not enough.
Yeah.
So,
not enough.
I was already making like pizza from scratch, Chinese food from scratch, like during
Yeah.
quarantine.
So why
So I'm
not
like, let
this?
me try it.
right?
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
You're like, I did that? Okay,
That-
then.
and it just got better and better and better
Yeah,
and
'cause
better.
That is fantastic. It tastes so good.
It did.
Yeah, like
Thank
it
you.
tastes like you've been making it for like
Yeah.
a recipe passed down for like hundreds of years.
And that's what some people were saying. They were
Yeah,
like, bitch, I
did.
swore my grandma made this. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. And to me, that honestly is the biggest compliment because
yeah,
I would see like my friend's mom make like the birria tamales. And literally the goat or the lamb was like right there on the
Mhm.
table. I'm watching my friend's grandma, like, I'm like, ooh. Okay. So I literally like I've seen it being made
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
and that's a shout out to Lisa and Louise from 33rd Street back in the day.
But that's another thing, Courtney. You being born in San Diego and growing up here, it's like Mexican food and Mexican culture
Yeah.
is like no matter what your
No matter-
background is,
Yeah,
it's in your
exactly.
blood. You can't
It
help it.
is.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
help
And,
it.
my mom makes soul food,
Yeah.
but growing up I didn't like it. Like liver and like
Oh,
even
liver,
even even
no,
even fried chicken. My mom
I
would make
love
fried
liver.
chicken. I would just like eat like the white meat and I would leave like so much left on
Yeah.
there. But my mom makes like the best greens. Like, oh my God.
Mm.
But I never learned how to cook from my mom. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and my mom didn't really bake, and so my sister, she does pastries.
Yeah.
I'm like, where the
Oh,
fuck
really?
did this shit come from?
Yeah.
But my parents are both creative individuals. My mom does cook, and she does do a little bit of baking. She used to be a seamstress / designer.
Yeah.
My dad is an artist. My dad
Oh,
also
so
knows
it's
how
in
to
your
cook.
blood.
My
Yeah.
dad
whole
is a
creativity.
musician, so it's
Yeah.
like it is like
Oh.
in my blood. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I really hope like you keep doing it because it was really good, and,
Thank
and it
you.
made me after eating, and I'm like, I want to know what else she does, what else she can cook.
Yeah.
I want to know the whole menu.
yeah.
Like, what would Courtney's restaurant? What would be on the menu?
Oh, it
What
would
kind of
definitely
food?
it would literally be the birria, which is like the number one. It would
Yeah.
be mole.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be like my lasagna. My lasagna is really good. The mac and
Mm.
cheese is really good,
Yeah.
of course. The cauliflower ceviche is really good. I make a really bomb ass. I made this bomb ass like coconut curry for my boyfriend like 2 weeks ago,
Yum.
and he was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's
Well,
another cute thing,
yeah.
because of diabetes, I had to start like making more healthier options for myself, like my little Thai ground turkey lettuce wraps,
Yeah.
or my little breakfast bowls of like, don't come for me, but apples, bacon, and cinnamon, and a little bit
That
of
actually
strawberries.
sounds really
Yeah.
It's so good. You just chop everything up and just like
Yeah.
toss it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
thank
god.
you.
Well, I hope you keep doing the.
Thank
It's
you.
just so bizarre. There is. What are you not good at?
Yeah.
I cannot do hair. I cannot draw. What is that? Calligraphy?
Calligraphy, writing. Yeah.
Nope.
But you have this genuine like entrepreneurial spirit.
Yes.
That, like,
Thank
just
you.
is like it's like what some of the great people like just really have. And
You know, sorry to cut you off, but it's new.
Is
This
it?
is a new feeling
Is it?
because, like I was saying before with my friend Andre, he would be like, "Damn girl, like, what are you gonna do next? What are you gonna do next?" Because I was always switching, you know. And if
Yeah.
it was for
Yeah.
drag and photography, and honestly, if it wasn't for, I feel like when I started transitioning, and I was like, "Okay, bitch," because before I started, when I started transitioning, I didn't want to get a BBL. I didn't want to get titties.
Yeah.
I was just gonna let the hormones do its job. But then when I saw the hormones were just giving me a belly, I was like, "Bitch."
Yeah.
No, ma'am.
No.
And I just like I just want it to be like I see myself the way that I look in the when I wake up in the morning and I see myself, I'm looking at myself. That's not what I see in my head.
Oh,
What I see in my head, like I'm wearing pads right now because I have a show at Double D's at Gossip Girl.
Tonight. And you can do Double D's is every Thursday night.
Every Thursday night. You
At
can get
Gossip
tickets
Grill
at
here.
gossipgirl.com.
And Miss Miriam T usually hosts. She'll sometimes have other
Yeah.
people host.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of queens from San Diego. And
Yeah.
it's a great cast. I actually haven't never been because I used to have a show on Thursdays.
Oh,
the other
okay.
podcast I did. And it was right when Double D's
yeah.
So, okay.
was there. So I'm like, oh, I want to go. And tonight would be the perfect time for us to go. We should go.
We
Eric.
should go.
Yeah.
We should
Gotta
go.
work tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. No, we can't. I can't believe we're almost out of time.
It looks like we're gonna have to have another episode.
Oh, absolutely. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. Oh, I wanted to go back to dating. So do you have any like crazy dating stories?
Oh, bitch. Oh,
Because
bitch.
I have some pet peeves, and
Yeah.
I'm newly single, as
Mhm.
like people who listen to the show know. But have you had crazy dating stories?
So you know what's funny? My boyfriend loves to hear about them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, bitch. So if you follow me on social media, you know about Courtney's Chronicles.
Exactly.
So I more so don't have dating. It all falls in dating, but to me they're either hookup. You know,
Yeah,
hookups
yeah.
because bitch, if you ain't paying like a bill at the end of the night, that's not a date. Sorry.
is that
not
a thing?
Not like a bill. I mean like a
Like the
check.
dinner.
Like if you don't get a check at the end of the night.
Wait, who does pay? If the person asking the other person to come out, or do you automatically go Dutch?
I pay for myself.
See,
Because I don't want no man thinking that he like owes me or I owe him something.
Yeah.
So I always pay my half. That's
Yeah.
also kind of how I started thinking of my name because I was going on a date with this guy and it was my turn. Not my turn, but I was like, I invited you over. I said, let's go eat. I'm going to pay.
Yeah.
So they like took my card and then the iPad thing that swerves. And like they swerved it and it's like my name where I have to sign and it said Cornelius Johnson.
Okay.
And I was like, he was like, Cornelius, eh? I was like, yeah. And I was like, fuck.
like,
and I was
so,
like,
and so.
literally, and in my head, I was like, I need to change my name.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think now is the time. But
Yeah.
I mean, the craziest things. I mean, I could. The
We can do a
craziest
whole episode.
hookups, right? A whole episode about my hookups, right? I mean, I would just say the number one is like the Uber drivers.
Really?
Really?
I hooked up with like countless and countless of Uber drivers.
I never get lucky
Wow.
with Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Neither have I. I cried on one time.
You did
I
not.
I got broken up and then I like
Aw.
cried on my way home. And she was like a therapist and she like gave me a
Oh,
giant hug.
perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect, but that's the only thing
Oh,
I've
you know
ever
what?
had.
Since we're talking about this, we should do the segment we haven't done in a really long time.
What is that?
Carol? Miriam's not here to do the Carol.
This sounds like some man shit.
Carol, for once in your life, shut your damn mouth.
So people who don't remember, Carol is a thing, place, anything is that just gets under your nerves that you just need to get off your chest. Some gripes, some like, oh, these people bug me. I will go first.
Okay.
So as I was saying, I'm new to the whole dating thing after 13 years of a relationship.
Yes.
I don't understand if you tell somebody we are meeting at this time at this place and you don't. One, I send you a text saying, hey, we're still on for tonight. You say, yeah. And then you don't text, show up, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I did it. An hour after you said you were going to meet and say, hey, Let's meet in another hour. No. You show up when you say you showed up. If you know you're not going to, all it takes is 2 seconds to say, hey, let's rain check, or hey, sorry, let's do it another time.
Yeah.
Is that so hard to ask?
That's happened to me before.
I hate that shit.
I was messaging this guy on Grindr all day, an older gentleman too, around your age.
It wasn't me.
That was shade to you.
Can you imagine?
That was shade.
74.
Right. And so
74. How dare
like,
so he was a young 35.
Right. So I was like, oh, let's go get drinks. Well, he was like, let's go get drinks. I said, sure. I'm like, oh, would you mind going to this one bar?
Yeah.
There's a drag show happening. I'm like, oh, I would love to. So we continue to get a text all day. I'm like, okay, 8 o'clock. He's like, yeah, 8 o'clock, perfect. Around 5, 6, he messages me, hey, we're still on for today. I'm like, yeah, like blah, blah, blah. 7:30. Hey, I'm walking over to the place because I was gonna. You're not picking me up at my house.
No,
like you know,
I don't want you to know where.
Yeah, good.
So I'm like, hey, I'm walking over to the place. I was gonna go anyways for the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it stood me up, and then next thing you know, it's like 10 o'clock. Oh, I'm so sorry. I got work got hectic. I'm like, work got hectic, but you couldn't just be like, hey, sorry. Work is hectic,
That's
blah,
what
blah,
I
blah,
don't
at 7:30 when I texted you that I'm on my way.
Yeah.
It literally takes a couple seconds to send a text. That's all you people need to do, okay? And the other thing, if you say one thing online and then you show up and all of that stuff doesn't add up, no, I'm going to leave.
Exactly.
Come on.
Wow, you've had a week.
I have. And drunk people outside of the bar. If you are drunk and somebody says it is time for you to go home because you're drunk, take their advice and go home. Don't try to argue with them.
Yeah.
What happened on Saturday outside of Peck's with that kid? Do you remember?
Now I remember what you were talking about on Saturday. And sorry, flashback. It just...
He said, that's so Raven.
There was some, and I say a kid because he was really young, really drunk.
Yes.
Starting trouble outside of the bar. And that poor kid, the little Latino boy who was like, don't leave me alone. So I was like, I'll stay. This is what got me. I wasn't gonna say anything to this kid. I was just like, ignore it. He'll go away. I'll get the hint. Then he started making fun of the little Latino boy's weight.
Yes.
And that's when I turned and I laid into the kid.
No.
Yes. And then he was like, oh, you want to get I was like, come on, let's go. You want?
Tony literally put on the reading glasses and just went in. Like,
oh my God.
Did not even take breaths for sentences. Just laid into this guy, this poor guy.
Good.
And then at one point it was great because he like pauses and then he came for you for gray in your beard. And you go, I gave you a 30-second pause and that's the best read you can come back with.
It's my beard. He said, oh, you and your fake ass beard. I'm like, that's what you're coming with? I just gave you some great material. You just got some like off the cuff work, and that's
we're
out. We're going. I was like, Eric, we're leaving.
Yeah. Oh my God. See, I can't read anybody like that because I'll hurt somebody's feelings.
See, I haven't done it in a long time, and Eric's never seen that part of me
I've not
to a
seen
stranger in public.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, 1, I wasn't drunk enough. 2, it was late, and 3, I was bored, and I was like, this could be fun. This could be entertaining.
She said, call me Electra, abundance.
And then he came back with like the weakest and I was like, oh, you just ruined my night.
Anyways,
I thought this was going to be fun.
We left, and then I drove by and saw the two that were fighting, making out.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that.
They were making out. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew something was up with that because it seemed a little weird when we were leaving.
The kids hit on each other nowadays.
Is it?
I think so.
They hit each other and then they start hitting on each other.
Yeah, I think that's
That
how
is
it works.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. Maybe they were just finding like solace in how like mean you were to them.
Maybe I was the catalyst to their relationship.
Yeah,
oh, my work
yeah.
is done.
They had to comfort each other.
Yeah,
because
yeah. It was hilarious.
That is so funny.
I miss doing that. I never get to do that.
We'll do it tonight at Double D's.
Was Marion performing? It'll be an easy target.
Exactly.
Exactly. Sorry. It's been amazing having you on the show again.
Thank you.
You got to come back because there's so much more we need to cover.
I know.
Oh, yeah, let's talk some more shit.
Some more shit. We didn't even get to like news stuff and pop culture stuff. I wanted to get your opinion on.
Yeah.
Because we
well,
spent
we
the whole
can
hour
get.
just
I know.
And
Talk
you have a
about
show
me. Fuck
tonight.
me. I know. I gotta go to the show tonight, girl.
Okay. How
Girls
do
of
people
Book.
find you? How do they get to your brunch? Give them all the details.
You
of
can
where
find
they
me on Venmo as Strawberry. I'm just kidding.
Oh no, it'll be right above her.
Right.
Look at the YouTube.
So
Yes.
my Instagram is strawberry_corncakes. That's where I feel like people should go. You'll find my Twitter and OnlyFans later if you are a follower of the ages. But yeah, so just Instagram, strawberry_90. I do have my YouTube, which is Strawberry Corncakes. I used to do my drag queen eats before COVID happened. But yeah, I mean, and Venmo is strawberry90.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then brunch every other Sunday here in San Diego at the Rail for Ultimate Brunch or Ultimate Drag Brunch. You could go to our website. We'll have a link there so you guys can get tickets when it happens. And then the ball's not going to be till August. We got to wait.
I mean, that's what it has to be.
But if you are in San Diego, Courtney is performing everywhere. You're bound to see her somewhere.
Yeah, so you can catch me.
Yeah.
So I have my drag brunch at the Rail every other Sunday. I'm also cast at Kixie's Bubbles for Brunch,
which is
I'm
on
also
Saturdays,
cast
right?
At, Saturdays. With Miriam at Double D's on Thursdays.
Oh, yay.
And then I am also the host of Rumor at Number 1 on 5th, which is every fourth Friday of the month.
Yes.
And then I also am hosting Strawberry Corncakes Presents the Drag Battle Royale, which is a drag competition for the little baby queens and not so baby queens.
Yeah.
And that's this month on the 29th. The next one will not be until January. So yeah. So y'all can catch me all at those places.
Yes.
But you can catch me at McDonald's tonight.
The
Mariah Carey menu.
Oh, that just came out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go try it actually.
Are you?
I'm gonna see if my boyfriend wants to go today after
Do
the
it.
show.
Do it. How do you find you, Eric?
You can find me on Instagram at Daddy Bear Eric.
There you go. You can follow the show at Who Invited Her _podcast on Instagram or Who Invited Her SD on Twitter and Facebook. You can always email us at thegang@whoinvitedher.net. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You can watch us there, and you can watch us every Tuesday night at 7 on Out at TV. And then we'll be on a little break for the holidays. So yeah. Oh, you can follow me. It's Tony_Baloney_macaroni, and that is it for us. Thank you.
I'm hungry.
I know. Thank you, Courtney, for hanging out with us.
Thank you for having me.
You got to come back, and we will see everybody next week. Bye.